Hey, what's going on, guys? So let's talk about this whole body positive movement that has spawned out of the realm of third wave feminism and smartphone culture in the past few years. So basically, it's a movement that is targeted towards obese women, not men. Men still need to be Ryan Gosling, Tom Cruise, or Brad Pitt to win the heart of these blue-haired fairy goddess women. It seeks to normalize and justify obesity and morbid obesity as if it's a random expression of genetics and nature. Accept and love yourself to become more healthful, they say. The thing is, if we look into the not too distant past, we can see that the average female or human being in general was within a normal weight range. A simple Google search of what people looked like in the past in the early 1900s and before, it's almost impossible to find anybody who is morbidly obese or even obese for the most part. Everybody's within a normal weight range. The epidemics of obesity and potentially variables involved in other chronic health problems is really a modern phenomenon which is a consequence of the industrialized, toxified, and highly processed food supply. I imagine that when McDonald's first started out, it was probably a lot less processed and a lot less toxic. This is literally a picture of circus people from the 1800s. I typed it on Google, people from the 1800s, and this came up. Notice the obese woman who made it into the circus because of her, by today's standards, mild obesity. So that just gives you an insight as to obesity to that level was not a normal thing. And by people normalizing obesity and morbid obesity as if it's just a thing that you have to accept, you're normalizing destruction of your own genetic lineage because statistically, your ancestors were not even close to as obese as you are.
And we tend to see thinness as being universally good, where people are denied their basic humanity.
And the things that you're denied, where the basic humanity that you claim that you're denied, where does that come from? Your inability to walk up a flight of stairs without passing out, is that denied to you by humans or by your own biology because you're subject to the natural laws of nature and biology? Denial of the objective world is not helpful to anybody. This whole counting calories thing or even managing carbohydrates, fats, and proteins really is secondary and a diversion compared to looking at the highly processed food ingredients added to all of the processed foods that's available at every single gas station and conventional grocery store across America and a lot of the world. The hydrogenated vegetable oils act as literal plastic within the body. The body does not recognize hydrogenated oil as a food substance because whatever process they do to the hydrogen bonds within the fat, the body doesn't recognize it as actual fat. It's plastic basically. And in order to protect the vital organs, it stores it in the fat tissue. And a lot of times that helps to form cellulite in women. Another modern phenomenon thanks to the industrialization of the food supply. The body positive movement birthed out of the feminist mind-numbing propaganda is designed to normalize the dysgenic effects that the highly toxic food supply is having on women. Okay? Period. End of story. That's what it's doing.
100% happy and healthy. Like, you have no medical conditions whatsoever. You have no problems at all with your health.
It is designed to keep women on the brain-dead, dysgenic, corporately sponsored food supply. It is designed to pacify you and keep you from questioning really anything. How the fuck did people get so unhealthy? Is this normal? No, this is not normal.
It's really interesting that I feel like I need to justify my existence in this realm.
No, but hang on a minute. You asked her.
So I'm going to give you my theory as to how aspects of feminism or factors within feminism actually contributed to the decline of health within society in general and within women. Throughout history, families, specifically mothers, would pass down healthful traditions and how to feed and take care of their children so they developed into normal functioning adults. They actually would have an understanding of maybe why certain traditions or practices held value in terms of maintaining the health of their children. I know this may come as a shock, but daycare, sitting kids in front of the TV, smartphones, and even grocery stores haven't been around for the entirety of human history. Before, women would actually have to do things to take care of their kids. Shocking, right? In order for humans to procreate and continue, certain gender roles of women birthing and feeding kids were not an option. They were inherent and essential to continuing life itself. It was biologically ingrained within the fabric of how humans interacted with the natural world. It's not some patriarchal conspiracy as to how things are organized within the natural world, okay, morons? Humans throughout history did not have the luxury of binge eating 3 packs of Oreos and sucking down 3 gallons of corn syrup or aspartame soda while binge watching Stranger Things. I know that's a hard thing to comprehend for the modern third wave feminists.
Safety first.
Body positivity and many parts of feminism, not all parts, I do think women should vote and have equal rights, of course. But aspects of feminism is simply a facade designed to get women to accept the culture of death and the dysgenic programming designed to dismantle the family and get the kids also on the culture of death program and eat the toxic food, leading to unhealthy minds and bodies within the children of the population. Which is why I think feminism has contributed to the overall decline in health throughout everyone. There's nothing healthful about celebrating and denying being unhealthy. There is value in celebrating and striving towards ideals. Yes, people vary to some degree based on genetic factors. Some people are naturally more thin or bulky, but that exists within normal, reasonable parameters. Everyone can take steps towards improving themselves regardless of how deep in the hole they are, especially in the information age. We have access to endless legit information and access to really any healthful substance you could possibly dream of. People 100 years ago or even 20 years ago didn't have access to the sort of stuff that we do today. Eating healthy, in my eyes, doesn't come from eating just a piece of lettuce and a delicate squirt of lemon and some water. Any food group and any dish can be made more healthful if the ingredients used to make them simply don't contain all of the synthetic crap added to it. Eating healthy doesn't necessarily come from not eating a hamburger, but if you do eat a hamburger, maybe get meat that doesn't have antibiotics added to it, maybe use bread that doesn't have hydrogenated soybean oil added to it, and maybe use lettuce and tomato that don't have pesticides sprayed on top of them. Being aware of things like that is a much more effective route to health versus counting calories and then meanwhile at the same time drinking 3 gallons of diet soda a day. I know it can be difficult in today's world, but you can either take responsibility and be objective about why obesity and potentially other things is present in humanity, why certain things have manifested, because there's laws in place, and then actually do something about it, rather than accepting and pretending like it's normal, because history tells us that it's not.